It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It is your feel-good breakfast show, and we're trying to feel good as parents, but we're a little bit unconfident at the moment. We're continuing our discussion with relationship and family counsellor Mimi Hewitt, and we are talking about raising children who are confident, who can think and make decisions for themselves without constantly needing to get input from us, their parents, out of fear, generally. Now, essentially, we are talking about raising an independent child, but I don't want my little man to get hurt in the process, but we got to do it, man.
Mimi, thank you so much for saying what you said earlier, because I saw Graham's eyebrows just lift when you said, allow them to struggle so that they can grow. So I think we need to temper that for a second. When it comes to raising independent children, we're obviously not saying throw them out to the wolves, let them survive, they'll come back with the pelt. No, we're saying support your child.
Sparta, yeah.
Support your child, but also challenge them. Is that correct?
Absolutely. You want to be their biggest cheerleader. You don't want to do it for them, but you are standing right next to them, encouraging them. That's what it's about.
I'm at that lucky stage now where I've got to not only watch his behavior, but watch my own, because he's modeling off what I'm doing. A child obviously has those developmental stages earlier, very important. We have to be cognizant of that fact. What does expecting too much from a child look like? Because I think in today's age and looking at Instagram, we all want a wunderkind child prodigy that is going to do these amazing things. When is it too far?
You know what? I think when we compare our kids with other people's kids, we get flustered, we get scared, we get worried that they won't excel enough. So we try and expect too much from them. We just go that step too far, and that can obviously often cause them to feel discouraged. They could become fearful of disappointing us, not meeting up to our expectations, and that fear of failure, fear of disappointment can be really hard on a child. So we definitely don't want to expect too much from them, rather just let them guide you with what they are comfortable with.
That's powerful, eh? Let them take the wheel. Your 3-year-old's in charge.
And we did. That was the game we were playing.
I knew it.
He was driving and I had to be the passenger. That's what we had to do.
So Mimi, if I look at now, all considered, how should our approach be to challenging them and helping them to develop some independence within them as they get older?
Yes. So as kids get older, they, when they're still young, like a 3-year-old, we've got lots of control, but not so much influence on them. As they grow older, our control should lessen so that the influence can increase. So kids don't want to be controlled. They don't want to be told what to do, especially a 10-year-old. So give them some form of authority, obviously within limits, but allow them to make some decisions for themselves and rather influence those decisions in a positive way.
I'm glad you raised Carl's eyebrows now, so thank you for that, for a bit of parity across the board here. I've got to speak from our own experience. It's normal to want to insulate our children from problems, save them the pain that we ourselves have experienced. But problems will come, and we've learned that that's often where you find out the best parts of yourself. What negative effects, though, could come from raising a child who's always by a parent's side? And I say this especially now because we are always together, because we are in a second lockdown.
You know what? Being with your child isn't a bad thing, but being overprotective and hovering over them like a helicopter, or, you know, you get these new lawnmower parents who want to just make the path straight in front of their children. They never develop that self-confidence that they need then to go out into the world. So they will become insecure, and they will always be looking towards you. What must I do next? So rather allow them the space, and don't be too hovering.
Don't be a lawnmower.
Yeah, I like that one. I actually never heard the lawnmower one. I always knew about the helicopter one. The lawnmower one, that's a new one. So I think it's important for us to temper ourselves and say, you know, if there are any final tips for parents, those who feel that they're lacking confidence a bit, they feel like they're doing, you know, the wrong thing. What final words of advice can you leave with us?
Okay, so raising your child to be independent doesn't mean you are a lazy parent. Raising an independent child means you are allowing your child to grow. You're actually allowing your child to to grow those wings that they need in order to fly. We won't always be around them. So we need to help them to grow, to not be afraid of failure, but to try. And you know what? Perhaps they don't fall. Perhaps they actually do fly.
Well, let's hope they do. Mimi, thank you so much. I'm feeling a lot better about the path in front of, as windy as it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's no longer a straight path. I know at 3 years old, you're always wondering, is he going to be a sociopath? Is he going to be a beautiful, wonderful, empathetic person? And they exhibit all those behavioral patterns. But one thing is for sure, that we can be confident in the way that we parent, and they can take their cue from us. It's always such a pleasure having you with us, Mimi. Thank you so much. That's relationship and family counselor Mimi Hewitt. There is no clear roadmap to parenting. No wrong or right way exactly, but there are some building blocks, some skills that our children can really benefit from on that journey to becoming an independent person, which is what we want, yeah?
Exactly, yes. Avoid the lawnmowers and helicopters.